Hello friends and true crime fanatics. Today I'm going to be telling you about the death of David Coughlin. So, David Coughlin and Raffi Kodikian became friends while studying at Northeastern University. And in July 1999, they decided they were going to go on a road trip together to California from Boston. So they both lived in the Boston area. They were going to road trip to California before David started grad school, studying environmental science at UC Santa Barbara. Dave was a traffic analyst at the Wellesley, Massachusetts Town Hall. Originally, he was going to go on this road trip by himself, and his friends were very relieved when he told them that his friend Raffi was going to come along, because Raffi had been on many hiking and type things before, and he was going to be camping the whole way to save money. So Dave's the traffic analyst, and his friend Raffi Kodikian is an aspirant writer. He became an editorial assistant at the Boston Globe newspaper, to which he also submitted freelance articles, one of which was a 2-part travel story about being lost in the desert. One sentence read, "The sand felt like a sandblaster on my bare legs, and I had lost my sense of direction." Quite the way with words. So they take off for California. They drive from Boston down to New Orleans and then head west. On August 4th, 1999, they arrived in Carlsbad Caverns National Park in New Mexico. They were low on money, so they stopped at a ranger station and asked if there was somewhere that they could camp for free. The ranger suggested Rattlesnake Canton. They filled out an overnight camping permit, bought 3 bottles of water and a topographical map, and they parked at the trailhead and hiked down into the canyon. It's a mile from where they parked down to the canyon where they camped. So in the morning, when they packed up and were getting ready to go, they couldn't find the trail back out of the canyon. So they wandered around looking for it, couldn't find it. Went up the canyon, went down the canyon, couldn't find it. So, okay, well, guess we're staying another day. So they pitch their tent again. When it gets dark, sleep. They only had 3 bottles of water, some hot dogs, a can of beans, and a bottle of Gatorade with them. They ate the hot dogs the night before. They drank the Gatorade the night before. They're out of water because they drank all that the night before. They still have their can of beans, but they don't eat it because, according to Raffi, it had a lot of sodium in it, and he was worried it would dehydrate them because they didn't have any water. So that's day 2. Day 3, they try to hike up so they can get a better view, but they still can't find the trailhead. They didn't want to eat the beans. They ate cactus berries, and that made them sick. Dave started vomiting, probably because some of the cactus fruit was unripe, and that can make you sick. And they were so desperate for water that they tried to drink their own urine. Dave managed to get some down apparently, but Raffi said it made him gag, and so he didn't try. And at some point, they were keeping a journal through all of this. At some point, they apparently attempted suicide, but it was unsuccessful. The morning of the 4th day, so this is now August 8th, Dave asks Raffi to kill him because he's in so much agony. He's puking from the cactus berries. They haven't had water for 4 days. They're probably starting to think nobody's going to come for them. So Raffi says, okay. He stabs him once with a 4-inch folding knife into the lung. And then when that doesn't kill him, he stabs him again in the heart. Raffi wrote in the journal, "I killed and buried my best friend today. Dave had been in pain all night. At around 5 or 6, he turned to me and begged that I put my knife through his chest. I did, and a second time when he wouldn't die. He still breathed and spoke, so I told him I was going to cover his face. He said okay. He struggled, but died. I buried him with love. God and his family and mine, please forgive me." So Raffi buried Dave by piling rocks on him. Some of these rocks weighed more than 70 pounds or 30 kilograms. So these are big rocks from the canyon floor that he's burying over his friend. 3 hours later, a ranger arrives. The same ranger that they saw in the ranger station before. He said that Raffi appeared moderately to severely dehydrated. He said, "Where's your buddy?" Raffi points at the pile of rocks and says, "I killed him. Sure hope you brought some water." Ranger's like, "What? I killed him. He's over there." Now, they were only 1.5 miles from their car, 240 feet from the trail out of the canyon. It took the ranger 10 minutes to find them once he entered the canyon. And Raffi immediately confessed to killing Dave, handed over his knife, and the ranger gave him some water. Rescue team came in, got Raffi out, took him to the hospital because he was suffering from dehydration. And a team came in to investigate Dave's death. It was investigated by the FBI, the National Park Service, and Eddy County, New Mexico Sheriff's Department. An autopsy showed Dave would have survived if he had been alive when rescue came. And experts in dehydration say that as long as someone is able to talk, they have a chance of surviving. 3 hours. If he'd waited 3 hours, the rescue was coming. So Raffi was charged with first-degree murder. They set a $50,000 bond. His parents paid the bond, and he stayed at their house in Pennsylvania until his trial on January 3rd, 2000. Legally, even if Dave begged Raffi to kill him, it's still considered murder because assisted suicide is illegal in New Mexico. The Eddy County Sheriff, M.A. Click, says, "I believe I might die trying to carry him out, drag him out, walk out to find help and bring it back. But I don't think I could kill my best buddy." So they're trying to figure out what's going on while they're doing all this before they charge him. Their first was like maybe it was a suicide pact because they'd apparently tried to commit suicide. They'd attempted to slit their wrists with their little knife, but Raffi was too weak to draw blood, apparently. So that was out. And so then they're like, well, maybe it was girl trouble? So they call Raffi's girlfriend. And he's like, did you ever hook up with Dave? Maybe Dave confessed that he'd hooked up with Raffi's girlfriend. And she said, no, we were just friends. All three of us would hang out all the time, all together. We were just friends. So then they looked at the angle. Maybe he was living out something he'd read in a novel, because Raffi was an avid reader. And he is believed to have read a novel called The Man Who Walked Through Time by Colin Fletcher, which is about two friends who nearly die of thirst in the Grand Canyon. So maybe he was trying to live that out. Who knows? Then all of Dave's friends were like, no, Raffi wouldn't kill him. Dave's co-worker Sandy Hobson at the Wellesley, Massachusetts town hall said, Raffi was a great guy. Dave wouldn't have been friends with him if he wasn't. But in the end, Raffi pled guilty to second-degree murder. He said it had been a mercy killing. He served 16 months in jail and was released on November 2001. So what do you think? Was it a mercy killing? Was it a suicide pact? What happened? Because this doesn't make sense. This is just weird. If my best friend... Okay, first of all, my best friend would not be hiking down Rattlesnake Canyon and camping with me, so that's not a concern. But let's just say they did, and then 4 days later they asked me, kill me, because this is so sucky, I'm gonna die anyway, just kill me. No way! There's no way I could do it. This just doesn't make sense. I mean, these guys have been friends for 5-6 years at this point. There's no way. It doesn't make sense. So comment below. What do you think happened? What's the real story? Did Dave really ask Raffi to even kill him? That's what his story was. That's what he wrote in his journal. But is it true? And if you've liked this video, please click the thumbs up button down below and hit that subscribe button. Any other true crime stories you have that you would like me to look into and get my take on, comment them down below. And thanks for watching. Have a great night. Bye.